supported the America going in the Vietnam War because I thought it was required to fight the communists from taking over the island. I was not drafted. I was ready in the military, and so I just when I got orders, I just went, and not knowing where Vietnam was at that time, I found out when we got there. I can remember landing on the ramp of Vietnam, South Vietnam. I was walking on the ramp, just down where the houses were, and then some sergeant yelled at me from the foxhole and say, "Hey, head for the shelter." And I said, "Why?" He said, "Well, the communists right on the line here, and it looked like they may be shooting some mortars at us." So I got in a foxhole. Um, I was in the military, so I was just automatically sent there. Um, do you think? Do I? I don't think. Well, another Vietnam. I mean, it's hard to say. I think the United States will help any country that has trouble with communists and that, or another country taking over somebody else. So I think we'll always be available. And what do I think about the anti-war movement? I think that's not. They're not smart at all because there's no. You anti-war. Let the rest of the country go to bad. Go to hell. Man, it's bad. Uh, what kind? The men I led were basically flight airplanes, pilots. Uh, we'd go in a ship. We'd go 4 airplanes. Sometimes we'd go a whole 12 airplanes. A whole bunch of us would arm up and hit targets in North Vietnam. How did I feel? Well, when I ejected out of the 105, I got hit. I was on fire over Phu Quien, which is the capital of the airfield at Hanoi, the main country. And I was on fire. Uh, how did I feel when I ejected? Well, the feeling you have is you don't know what you're going to expect or find out when you land on the ground. Now, if you did it over America, you know it's peace and that. But in an M&E company, it is a little bit different to determine what's gonna when you land, what's gonna happen, and so it's kind of scary because you're not sure what's gonna happen to you. I know a lot of people were just absolutely executed by the locals, by the civilians were just executed them. And in fact, when I got shot down, I landed on a hill and right next to a village. And in my parachute coming down, I took my pistol out and fired at the people that had rifles at the village. Well, my pistol was a flare fixer, which was for in case you bailed out so they could find you. And the tracers that went out of the gun set some of the roofs on fire, which were made out of straw. And also, when I landed, I was right next to a radar site. Now, normally you would think that wouldn't have a radar in that, but they didn't. It was the radar site was handled by the Russians, or Russians, or no, no, I think they were Chinese. Who was the hardest part? Not, being in Vietnam was not hard. That was it's just like a vacation. Being a prisoner, uh, you you just didn't know what to expect. One, I was in solitary confinement. In other words, by myself in a small room for 3 years. 3 years of solitary confinement, and then the other 2.5 years I was in a big room, which had a lot of it, and that was much easier when you got to. In fact, um, they when I got into the room, they put us all in this one room. They all wanted me to be the chaplain, and I asked them why, and they said, "Because I get along with everybody." So I was a chaplain. They even made a rosary for me, a rosary out of bread dough. I couldn't believe it. It looked just like a rosary made out of old bread dough, and I had a picture of it, and I had it. I took it home, but somebody stole it. But I still have a picture of it. Uh, Being a prisoner was it wasn't too. I mean, oh, they took you out and every once in a while to ask questions and they would do beat you a little bit, uh, try to get answers out of you. Other than that, that was about it. Was I ever scared on an assignment? Oh, uh, not. Yeah, you don't get scared when you go on a mission. Yeah, the only time I think I was scared is when you bail out and your parachute opens up and you're going coming down. You don't know where you're gonna land. That's the scary part. You don't know where you're gonna land, in a tree, in the water, in a cactus, or anything else. Uh, you just don't know until you land, and that would probably have more problems than anything. Now, when you land, another thing, the other worry is what they're gonna do with you as a prisoner. Well, believe it or not, I landed. I landed and they asked me if I was a chaplain. I said no. They said because I said why? Because they said the Catholic priests that they had, they went and tortured and nailed them to a tree. They nailed all the priests to a tree in Hanoi and nailed them to the tree, and they die there. That's how they got rid of the priests. And other than that, that was about it.